welcome to Finding Your Frequency, the show where we meet people where they're at, find out where they're going, and what they're doing to achieve the life of their dreams or to create something special, which is exactly what our guest today has been doing. Welcome, Jerry Sinclair. We've known each other an awful long time, Jerry.
Yes, always through the radio, though.
Always through the radio. Yeah. Longtime referee, but now out working with Faithful and True. So tell me about Faithful and True. What is it?
Well, Faithful and True was started back in 1996 as a result of several men who struggle with sexual sin. And these are primarily, not only, but primarily guys that are in the church who are really under conviction about what their sin has gotten them to. And for many of them, divorce was on the table.
Sure.
Some of them already got kicked out of the house. So it was a real struggle for them. And they would go to various resources, but there seems to be gravitation towards a Christ-centered, Bible-based support group. And we find this works real well in a support group mentality because you can't fight it alone.
Right.
So we've been doing these meetings now, say, for 28 years. We have 5 meetings here in Jacksonville for men only. And then we have a WISE group that meets once a week. And we've been doing it for a long, long time. And we've had a lot of traction. We've had over 1,600 men come through our doors since the beginning. And we started with just 2 guys, and then it was 3, then it was 4. By the end of the month or end of the year, we needed a full building to meet in. And then the WISE wanted to start having meetings about a year after that. So we've been growing ever since. COVID, of course, was a big startling event in our lives, and we had to actually shut all the meetings down for a brief period of time. And then we added 1 meeting at a time, and now we're back up to 5. We were at 8.
You got started in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost 30 years ago. That's before the advent of the internet.
Yep.
And pornography wasn't as easily accessible, still accessible, but I imagine you've seen the problem just grow exponentially.
Yes. The internet has brought out a lot of guys that probably would have stayed in hiding a lot longer. But so that we're a kind of ministry where you get caught to come to us. Rarely do we get a guy that volunteers, says, hey, I got a problem, I need help. Mostly it's a guy that's gotten caught by his wife or another family member who reported to his wife, or by the authorities, he got arrested.
Right.
Or thirdly, he got caught by his boss and he gets fired. And so these are the guys that we work with, the guys that are broken, beaten, battered, and bruised. And they're down on themselves, and they're stuck, and they need to get out of that. And we kind of change their frequency when we do that.
Yeah, I appreciate the way you said that.
Yeah.
You mentioned Christ-centered, which will resonate with a lot of people who are watching this. Mm-hmm. How do you infuse Christ into this process, and what is your process?
Well, the process is we bring guys in basically almost cold. We don't do any pre-interviews or sit-downs or anything like that. I'll talk to them on the phone a little bit before we start. But we introduce Christ through the Bible. We have scripture throughout our workbook, and we refer to those scriptures. We encourage guys to memorize scripture, to internalize it. I would say that many of our guys are, they probably know the Bible. They think they do. They don't know it all. Nobody does.
Sure.
But they think they know. But they think they can fight this thing by themselves. And what we find out when we infuse Christ in this, even Christ didn't work alone. He had times when he would be alone to rest and recuperate. But whenever he was ministering, he always ministered to a group or with a group. He sent out his disciples to go out and spend a day in the various cities and heal people and minister to people 2 by 2. And they never went alone. And he'd bring them back and they'd report back to him. So there was all kinds of methods that Jesus used, and we're just using the small group mentality as what we find to be very effective. And then, of course, when a guy reads scripture and he internalizes it, that's one thing. When he conveys it to other guys in the group, this is what I've learned, then all of a sudden the guys can latch onto that and say, okay, that's it. They don't preach to them. They say, this is what I got out of it.
Jerry, how do people find you? Because there are a lot of people who need what you're offering.
Well, we have a hotline, and that phone number is area code 904-443-0246. 443-0246. And then we have a website, 904true.org.
904true.org.
904true.org. So they can go there and find the phone number there. They can find information about us. And then if they call into the hotline, then I'll be there to answer that phone, or maybe not answer it, but I'll call them back within 24 hours after I get it.
And I guess, lastly, how long does it take for someone to see success with Faithful and True overcoming their addiction to pornography?
Well, I think the word overcoming is a little overused along with deliverance. We don't teach either one. We think this is a lifetime problem that doesn't just go away with a few meetings or maybe a blessing. For instance, confessional isn't just one time.
Yeah.
Confession is ongoing. You're always going to the priest or the pastor to confess whatever sin you might have if you choose to do so. Well, the same thing for us. We're always maintaining our sobriety. We're always working on it. So I don't know there's any end game. We don't give graduations. We don't take attendance. They come as long as they can come, and if they don't think they need it anymore, then that's fine. But we usually find guys that quit too soon come back really quickly.
So you're helping guys dial in a frequency of health,
right,
and getting back to a position.
And the frequency is always moving.
Yeah,
it just kind of moves all over the place, so they have to always shoot for it.
Jerry Sinclair, faithful and true. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time here on Finding Your Frequency.